The U.S. government in trouble as Congress is closer or farther from making a deal on the default of our country. I'll give you the details on that as their credit rating starts to suffer. That's right. Also, you won't believe what Congress did as this is happening. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'll give you the details of it in this video. Let's jump right in. Thank you so much for liking. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. Here we go. Yeah, so the US government's credit rating is now, yeah, I know you can't make this up. US government's credit rating is now starting to take a hit because of Congress. Hey, they don't care, right? It's not their credit rating. Or is it? But yeah, two credit rating agencies have now put the US government's credit rating on downgrade notice. And we're only less than a week away from the US government potentially defaulting. Are we closer or are we farther away? The answer to that question is yes, because your guess is as good as mine. Take a listen here.
Negotiators were working late into the evening and have been moving closer to a compromise position just as that June 1st deadline nears. According to Reuters, there's now just a $70 billion gap between their two positions, with the two sides expected to agree to a top-line spending number first and then let lawmakers hammer out the program details through the traditional budget process. The White House, the Treasury Department, and the U.S. Office of Management and Budget all radio silent on the talks, which, as of yesterday, would have required the administration to offer more savings to win over Republicans. And Democrats, well, they're not happy.
Republicans are driving us down a dangerous road of default or have presented the American people with another unacceptable choice, which is devastating cuts to children, devastating cuts to Medicaid, devastating cuts to nutrition, devastating cuts to education.
But they're now racing against the clock. In order to pass any agreement by June 1st, a deal would need to be reached by tomorrow at latest. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy still promising members 3 whole days to read the deal before voting. The House could then vote on Tuesday, the Senate on Wednesday, May 31st, and then it would be up to Congress after that to figure out where specific cuts would come from before another deadline, this one on October 1st, to fund the government. Kelly?
Wow. So in some ways, the deadline is tomorrow. We don't feel that close. Kayla, thank you. Meantime, the debt ceiling fight is leading one of the big 3 credit rating agencies to put the country's AAA rating on negative watch. Leslie Picker with the details. Everyone, I mean, last night, Leslie, busy news night, but this was one we couldn't miss.
Yeah, we've been kind of waiting to see what those big 3 would do, but it's Fitch with a shot across the bow to Congress. The ratings agency putting the U.S. on what's known as Rating Watch Negative, telling lawmakers to raise the debt limit by the deadline, ensure debt securities are paid on time and in full, and keep levels of debt to GDP in check, or else risk a ratings downgrade from AAA. Fitch says it still believes there will be a resolution before the deadline, but says, quote, risks have risen that the debt limit will not be raised or suspended before the X date, and consequently the government could begin to miss payments on some of its obligations. But some believe the ratings agencies should be doing more in the meantime. We spoke a short while ago with Moritz Kramer, who was part of that group that made the decision to downgrade the U.S. rating while at S&P in 2011. He told us that the ratings agencies this time around are acting, quote, quite late and quite timidly.
If you have a political system that gambles this way with the creditworthiness of the nation and the full faith and credit of the country, it has no business in AAA land. Because what we're seeing now evolving, I think, is at least as severe as it was in 2011 in terms of the difficulty of finding a way out. And this is just not what you would expect, such a dysfunctional system of a country with the highest level of creditworthiness.
While the Fitch news seems to have a muted impact on the stock market today, volatility in prior episodes actually crept up closer to the deadline and actually beyond that deadline date. However, Treasury markets responded much earlier to the debt ceiling risks this time around than they have in prior debt ceiling episodes, Kelly.
That's surprising, actually. And you're right. They have, because we could potentially be a little ways off still. Leslie, thank you.
Yeah, when he said dysfunctional government, those were the two words that really resounded with me, and I was like, yeah, those are the two words that most that I most agree with, right? Because of this next headline, because some of that story I was thinking, well, maybe it sounds like they're kind of getting close, but they got to make a deal by tomorrow, it seems like, because of the time it takes to get this stuff ready, to get the bill ready. And Kevin McCarthy saying they need 3 days to go over the bill. So they have to get this deal done by tomorrow. Okay, but it sounds like maybe they're getting close. So what did Congress do? Go ahead, you might know. Go ahead. Comment down below. Yeah, that's right. Read the headline with me. House of Representatives leaves town with no debt ceiling deal. What did they do? They're like, yeah, sorry guys, we we got other things to do. We're gonna leave town. Yeah. I just literally can't make this stuff up. House lawmakers are leaving Washington for the long holiday weekend Thursday afternoon. This is what's important, right? Just 1 week before the Treasury Department says the U.S. is at risk of a debt default without a deal to raise the debt ceiling. Negotiators say they're getting closer to striking a deal to avert a default next week, but an agreement didn't appear imminent. So are they closer or not closer? Republican Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina said, quote, we're still working through thorny issues, but there's goodwill on all sides. Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a Republican from California and negotiator, said that it's just tougher issues that remain. I'm not even sure they are closer. They just all left town. And if you want to see an idea of the goodwill that's going on here in Congress, especially the House of Representatives, between Republicans and Democrats, take a look no further at this footage of what just happened in the House of Representatives. You know, right before they left for their long vacation, the long weekend vacation, you know, before the country defaults and the country's credit rating gets downgraded, and, you know, everybody's 401ks, pensions, IRAs are all at risk, and the country could literally default. Yeah, take a look at what happened here.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican Congresswoman, temporarily presided over the House of Representatives yesterday. And she made an attempt to quiet the chamber by calling for decorum. Here's how Democrats responded.
The members are reminded to abide by decorum of the House. The House will be in order.
Yeah, as you heard, the Georgia Congresswoman's calls for composure were met with a burst of prolonged laughter. It comes just months after Greene heckled President Biden repeatedly during his State of the Union address when she broke decorum and shouted liar. And that, among many other things, Jen, I think the Democrats just, that was very natural. That just came from everywhere.
That was not, yeah, that was very organic. Yeah.
Was not planned.
That was not
It's like,
planned.
are
That was
you kidding me?
I would say, yeah, a rare moment of sincerity in the on the House floor.
Yeah. Wonder if they ever got it together.
And if you've been watching my show for any length of time, you've probably heard me say that the saying that my father has said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, no matter who it is. And in this case, it applies to this this situation as well. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene heckled the president. You know, whether you're a fan of the president or not is you know, neither here nor there. But when she's residing over the House of Representatives, you know, she wants, law and order, right? Everybody to be quiet. And of course, they they kind of laughed at her for that. Yeah. So to say that there's goodwill going on right now between the Republicans and Democrats, yeah, I'm not so sure on that one. I'm not so sure. I'll take that with just a little bit of a grain of salt here. So you guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. Doesn't seem like they're getting along that well. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and then the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. Thanks for liking and sharing. Here's some videos you should watch next. Here's a video about a raise for Social Security that is going through Congress right now for $1,518. And here's a video about you won't believe what banks are doing right now with a special guest interview. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.